In the space of your attention, I can finally feel you don't pull me out of rhythm. You just let me fall in line. And the way you keep it steady got me losing track of time. Your attention, I can feel like a question. Every answer in your eyes. There's a language in your movement that I don't need to define. And I'm caught up in the moment, but it doesn't feel too fast. Like we're drifting through a feeling that was always meant to last. Every heartbeat getting closer, but it stays so smooth. Like a rhythm we're discovering in the way we move. So between us something building. Every second feels so real. In the space of your attention, I can finally feel you don't pull me out of rhythm. You just let me fall in line. And the way you keep it steady got me losing track of time. Maybe we don't need direction. Maybe we just let it flow in the quiet of connection. There's a truth we both can know. So between us something deeper. Every moment pulls me in. All the walls I kept around me start to fade beneath your skin. You don't ask me for perfection. You just take me as I am. And the way you keep it gentle makes me understand. Yeah. So between us. So between us. I was lost inside the noise, always running from the truth. Every feeling felt temporary, nothing ever felt like you. Then you found me in the stillness, didn't try to pull me in. But the way you stayed so patient made me let you underneath my skin. I don't know what you did different, but it feels so real. Like a quiet kind of magic that I'm starting to feel. Where you are, I feel the calm now. Every breath just slows me down. In your arms, I lose the tension. I don't need to look around. You don't ask me for forever. You just stay here in the now. And I never thought I'd feel this way, but I feel it somehow. Every word you say is honest, no illusions in your tone. There's a comfort in your presence, like a place I've always known. And I'm letting go of pressure. I don't need to understand, 'cause the way you move so gently makes me trust it where we stand. Every second getting deeper, but it feels so light. Like I'm floating in your energy through the night. Where you are, I feel the calm now. Every breath just slows me down. In your arms, I lose the tension. I don't need to look around. You don't ask me for forever. You just stay here in the now. And I never thought I'd feel this way, but I feel it somehow. Maybe love is something simple. Maybe I just overthought. But with you it feels so natural. Like it's something I've been taught. Where you are, I feel the calm now. Every moment feels so true. All the things I used to question fade away when I'm with you. You don't ask me for perfection. You just meet me where I stand. And I never thought I'd feel this way. Till you took my hand. Yeah. Right where you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you very much for joining us. Today is one of those days, but we are grateful and happy to be alive and to be here as well. And I hope that you had an amazing day for yourself and that you had a better day than me. You better have had a better day than me. So I've not even managed to send reminders, but I will do that shortly. But other than that, I'm glad that you could join us. My name is Grace Nzula. I'm an HR consultant with Atara Solutions. Atara Solutions is a HR consulting firm that focuses on recruitment and talent selection. We also offer what we call HR consultancy, job evaluation, HR audits, review and updates of your policies, and we also support you in salary surveys. We also help you organize your organization or other organization restructuring. We offer what we call HR manager outsourced for organizations that are looking to outsource their HR department. And we also offer learning and development. We have a program called Growth Grid Mentorship Program. It's an exclusive once a year program that supports HR professionals to take their game to the next level. And we also offer Get It Right with Atara Solutions, which is the program you're tuned into. And we support your organizations in all your HR trainings, your soft skills, and we are a one-stop shop for training services. So reach out to us for those services. And you're tuned into Get It Right with Atara Solutions, which is a webinar series that seeks to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. We have been doing this since 2020, and we have had quite an amazing time, and you can visit our YouTube channel to get to catch up with what we've been doing. And of course, we are here with my co-host, Mr. Richard, who I will allow to introduce himself. Akiwa pale Pwani. For the Ugandans, Pwani is Mombasa.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am in Mombasa to do a few things here and there. I am delighted to be here to listen to what Yvonne asks to tell us about artificial intelligence. My name is Richard Magoma, and I train people in public speaking and interview preparation. But today we want to look at artificial intelligence and the hallucinations that accompany artificial intelligence. Thank you very much, Grace.
Thank you, Richard. And of course, happy to have you. And I'm very excited about the conversation today because sometimes I go and read your LinkedIn posts and I'm like, oh my God, you could not even put in some effort because we can tell it is AI. Sometimes people come to deliver a training and you can tell this is totally AI. I have nothing against AI, but you also need to really go further, you know? Some people are trying to write books and my God, you're just copy pasting everything from a chatbot. So tonight we decided to bring in a book auditor and a journalist to come and unpack this topic for us. And she happens to be my mentee. I am so proud of her and really looking, the teacher in me enjoys when my students are acing it. So I'm very excited to have you here, Yvonne, and we are looking forward to learning from you. And tell us about what you do, of course, in a minute. But of course, we are in partnership with Steadfast Quality Solutions. Steadfast Quality Solutions is an organization led by my very good friend Herbert Zaker from Kampala, Uganda. Steadfast Quality Solutions is a HR consulting and public relations firm. If you're looking for HR support in Uganda, then please get in touch with Herbert Zaker. And if you're looking for somebody to recruit for you board members or do board evaluations or train your board members, then you need to get in touch with Herbert Zaker or myself and I'll link you up. And Herbert is also a Gallup's certified strengths coach. If you're looking for a coach, he has coached over 500 executives. So if you're looking for a coach, then you need to really quickly book your session with Herbert Zaker. And we are very honored that you are our partner, Herbert, and you happen to be my friend. So thank you so much. And we don't take it for granted. And of course, our partner, K2 HR Services, K2 Career Center. K2 HR Services is located in Rwanda. K2 Career Center is located across East Africa. And if you're looking for support in HR in Rwanda, then K2 are your people. So thank you very much for being our partners, and we really appreciate you. Yvonne, tell us, how do we give a bit of a side eye to AI?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. And it's not just a bit, it's a lot of sides, like a wide eye, side eye, because it's making people so lazy. And of course, as a writer and as an editor, I see this every single day. So I'm going to be giving 5 reasons why you should not let generative AI write for you. So specifically, we'll be talking about generative AI that I'm going to explain what it is in a moment. But as Grace said, my name is Yvonne Mutui Kasafiri. I am a self-publishing consultant with Accrete. And that just basically means that we help people to publish books for themselves. And I'm also an executive ghostwriter, which means we help executives and people in management positions, CEOs, to tell their stories and to become thought leaders. And we do the writing for them so that they don't have to take too much time in writing, because we understand busy schedules and the importance of writing in thought leadership. Now, so first, I think I'd like to explain what generative AI is, and I'm going to make today's presentation very easy and very simple. Let me just share my document first. Just a moment. Yeah, so generative AI is basically AI that creates brand new content. If you're using AI that is able to use a lot of training and info and data to create brand new information, then that is what we call generative AI. And that is what we are mostly going to be talking about today. I'm just trying to share my screen here. Just give me a moment. Grace, something is giving me trouble here. Just give me a moment.
That's okay, no problem. So how was your day and what is your expectation? Can you actually, let me just ask this. You can engage on the chat. Are you able to tell when you read an article and you can tell is an AI article? Let me know on the chat. When you read an article, can you tell that this is AI or this is original? Let's engage on the chat. When you see an article, can you tell that it is AI? When you read an article, can you tell that it is AI? Ngatia says, yes, it has lots of dashes. I agree. A lot of dashes for sure. All right. Yes, I can tell. Yes, I can tell. Yes, I can tell. The conclusion is usually prompt. Keep them coming. Yes, I can tell. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. And the other question I have for you is, yes, when you start your sentence is saying, would you like me to use a formal language? By the way, that's true. There's somebody who applied for a job and the application letter had, would you like me to give you a version of? And I was like, my God, my God, my God, my God. Vincent is saying the punctuations. Pauline says, unless that I'm helped to know that I can't see. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Keep them coming. And maybe my next question is, once you know that you can tell it's AI, does it make you feel, like it's not original? Or do you take the whatever writings? Yes, 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 yes. Instant company disappointed. Yes, there's a bit of a disappointment that comes with it. Yeah, yes, the document is not well formatted. Keep them coming. What do you feel when you realize, it was AI, or oh my God, this is an AI written message? What comes to your mind? Do you get disappointed? Do you get to just say, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy the story anyway? What comes to you? Lazy-minded, lack of initiative. Yes, some jargon used. Okay. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Keep them coming, keep them coming. I applaud the initiative to you is AI, but annoyed with the lack of follow-up. You feel disappointed. Yes. So there's pride that comes with originality is what you're telling me today on the chat. There is pride that comes with originality. Yeah. So Yvonne is going to tell us how we can sound original while still figuring or using this AI. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Thank you, and thank you for waiting. And you guys are so right. It is so obvious when it's AI, and it is so disappointing when someone has just used generative AI to just write something that is supposed to be important, or even a love note, or a love letter, or a text, or a breakup text. It can be disappointing either way. But I spend a lot of my time at home. So when I was looking for a way to start this webinar, I thought of what would be the best way to describe the feeling of reading something that has just been generated by AI. So I came up with these two photos. And this first photo is the house of Kim Kardashian and her former husband, Kanye West. What is the feeling you have when you look at this house? It's plain, it's unwelcoming, it almost scares you, yeah? How do you feel when you look at this house? It is not welcoming at all. But then compare that to this house, which these are different houses they just got from Google. It feels so different, doesn't it? It feels warm, it feels welcoming, it's colorful, there's some intention with the colors that have been used, with the furniture that has been picked. And this is what it feels to read something that has been written by a fellow human being. So let's talk about 5 reasons why you should never let generative AI do your writing for you. And as I said, generative AI is basically AI that can come up with brand new information. We're talking about ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all of that. Number 1, you lose your reader's trust. And yes, as some of you said, we can tell it is AI. And it's not just the M dashes, it's not just the hyphen, it's not just the long lines. Like we've seen information generated by AI for so long and so much that we can instantly identify it, even with our subconscious. It's the same way, like as Grace said, she's been mentoring me for 5 years. I know the way she talks. Like she's gonna text, I know how Grace Nzula talks because I've been able to interact with her for so long. It's the same thing with AI. We've interacted with it for so long in speeches, in letters, in social media content, that right now it is so fast. It is so easy for us to catch what AI is and what has been written with AI. So if I can tell that your work was written with AI, then I don't trust you because you did not put any effort. You did not take your time. That is what is going through my mind. My mind is not saying, maybe they were just busy or they were just using it as a tool, as people say. My mind is going to tell me that I cannot trust you with the work that you are doing because you did not put your time. And so there's someone who says it so well. His name is Patrick Gailey, and he's an investigative journalist. And he says, if you use generative AI to produce content, you've deemed it not worth your time to write. You're too important and too busy to actually take the time to write the thing. So you got a chatbot to do it for you. If you don't think it's worth your time to write it, why on earth would it be worth my time to read it? So I think that is something to really think about. Number 2, you're slowly but surely putting your brain into deep slumber. I don't know if you've noticed this, and it happens with so many of us. The moment you get a task, your first thought is not, oh my goodness, I need to take a pen and paper and just write down everything, all the ideas. I need to sit down with my friends or with my workmates and just brainstorm. Your first thoughts, the first thought that comes to your mind is generative AI. I'm going to throw this on ChatGPT and it's going to give me some ideas. What are you doing to your brain? I was thinking of my 2-year-old, and I imagine taking every single time she has to eat her food, I chew it for her. She will never be able to chew, and she's not exercising her muscles. She probably won't be able to talk. That is what we're doing to our brains when we are constantly using AI. We're delegating all our thinking to AI. And I'm going to show you some research that has been done when I get to my 4th point, which is about critical thinking, that kind of pretty much is in line with this. To notice and to realize that you're giving your brain no activity and no work to do. You're letting AI replace your brain, and you're well educated. You've used so much school fees to go to school, and AI is just going to put your brain to absolute sleep, and it's going to be harder and harder for you to be able to think on your feet and on your own. There is a columnist for the New York Post, and his name is Brett Stephens, and he says, the problem with writing with AI is that it's mentally enfeebling. An escalator toward a result when you really need to make a daily habit of taking the stairs. As it becomes ubiquitous, it undermines not only our individual ability to write, but also our society's collective ability to reason, a culture's inner capacity to create, and everyone's reason to care. I think that goes back to what the previous journalist said when he said, why should I care about it? If you didn't care enough about it to write it yourself, then why should I care about it? Number 3, and I think this for me is very important because you don't know what you don't know. You use AI for everything, and it gives you the illusion that you actually know stuff that you don't. And I was thinking, if I was to give you something to write about in the next 12 hours, yeah, and it's something you have never heard about, okay, let's talk about a lost city somewhere in the world that nobody knows about. We're just doing a brand new research. What is the first thing you're going to do? You're going to go to generative AI and not, okay, well, most people are going to do that, which is quite unfortunate. There are a few people who will actually do the hard work. But right now in this generation and with the kind of environment that we have, most people are just going to go to generative AI and generate a whole document about whatever topic it is. So that gives you the illusion that you actually know something when you really don't. Because how did we used to do it before? Well, way before, people would go to libraries and they would read thousands of books. And then thankfully Google came, and now we have access to so much information, and we would read and read through articles and learn new things and trust that our brains are able to learn all those things and put it down in a document. But now generative AI is able to just speak all this information from wherever and put it into one document, and that gives you the illusion that you don't know whatever it is that you're talking about, although you're gonna feel like you do because you present the work as if it is your own. But AI gives you an illusion to think you know stuff and you understand things that you probably don't. Because if you don't do extensive research and good reading, you probably don't know what you're talking about. There's this Instagram post that I pulled, and I had to show you the reactions over there. How many people agree with this post? This tells you what a majority of people think about generative AI. In as much as we're saying, yes, it's a new world, it's a new thing, this is what we're going to do, young people are actually not really liking generative AI that much. So this creator said, AI is popular because it gives dumb people the illusion they are smart, and uncreative people the illusion that they are artistic. Ouch. That's a bit harsh, yeah. It's a bit hard, but know something that you probably don't really know about. Number 4, AI will destroy your credibility. Now, this is one of the things we don't really think about, because you see that car warning, Chini Apple, you see that car warning that says AI will make mistakes, and you're like, yeah, whatever. And you write that report and you create that presentation, you create that proposal with AI, and you do not review anything that it has researched on, any sites that it has linked. And it is said to actually make 45% mistakes. This is a research done by BBC and the European Broadcasting Union, and it showed that around 45% of queries to ChatGPT, MS Copilot, Gemini, and Perplexity produce errors. 45%. That is almost 50-50. A 50-50 chance that you will embarrass yourself, embarrass your company, embarrass your organization by quoting the wrong thing because you only use generative AI to create. It also does not cite sources, or oftentimes cites them wrong. So I'll show you what BBC said here. They said, examples are quite astounding. The AI incorrectly answered, "Who is the Pope? Who is the Chancellor of Germany?" And in response to the question, "Should I be worried about the bird flu?" Copilot claimed a vaccine trial is underway in Oxford. This source was for a BBC article from 2006, almost 20 years old. That is insane. And this tells you how much AI and generative AI can ruin your credibility in an instance. Because if it gives a citation that is so old, that is not relevant, or that has over time been proven to be false and is not relied on anymore, then you're in trouble. you're in trouble and you lose your credibility as a person, as a thought leader, as an organization, as an HR manager, whatever it is that you are, it is so easy to lose your credibility if you do not put your mind to it. There's a video here by a gentleman known as Ronnie Cheng. I don't think I'll be able to play it, but he's literally giving a speech, a commemoration speech at a college, and he's telling them to get rid of AI. And that is like one of the few ones I've seen, because most people are saying embrace AI, you know, this is what we're going to leave. But Ronnie Chiang, and he got so many views and so much attention for saying this. He was telling students, it is your role, it is now your responsibility to use your brain and get rid of AI. Do not let AI take over your work, take over your school. And that was really, I wish I could play that, but I won't play it today. Finally, writing is thinking. Critical thinkers hate generative AI. And I think before I was talking about critical thinking, you don't know what you don't know. What I forgot to mention is you become artificially intelligent. That is what people are calling it right now. Artificially intelligent. You don't know anything. You think you know so much, but the truth is you know almost nothing. But generative AI has given you that illusion that you know so much, but you don't. For as long as you're not using your brain to think, you don't know. And I know that can come off as harsh or probably is a little bit untrue, because you're like, I know, but I know all these. I've used generative AI and it has taught me. No, it hasn't taught you. It has enabled your mind to be lazy. So research has shown that generative AI inhibits critical thinking. And this actually, as a parent, I get worried about the future generation that is coming. Because if right now we get lazy and are constantly using generative AI to come up with content, what will happen to our children? They will not be able to think critically. They will not be able to come up with brand new ideas, to have their own ideas. And it's going to be a terrible world that I really do not want to live in. It makes you over-reliant, mentally lazy, and eventually incapable of thinking on your own. And I know there is a kind of a spectrum. There are people who use generative AI a little bit, and the people who use it a bit too much. And then the people who are just moderate, they use it once in a while. But each of these has consequences, because the more you do it, the more you become the more you rely on it. The more you use it and you're like, oh my goodness, I finished that task in 30 minutes and it would have taken me 3 hours or 3 weeks. It makes you more reliant on it, and that is harming your brain, and it is harming your critical thinking. There's some research that has been done by Science Direct, and I'll just read this. They say, however, talking about generative AI, and they start with a bit of good that has been done by generative AI. But then they say, however, this convenience brings growing concerns about students' cognitive development. So you can imagine most research right now is being focused on students, because generative AI has become a menace in the universities right now. So they say scholars have cautioned that excessive AI may promote cognitive offloading, reduce critical evaluation, and diminish independent thinking over time. Cognitive offloading is the use of external tools to store or process information, thereby conserving internal cognitive resources. That you're not using your brain. While such strategies can enhance efficiency, habitual reliance on AI tools may lead to cognitive inertia, your brain being completely inactive, a reduced tendency for reflective thinking and analytical reasoning. What kind of a person do you become if you cannot think critically through a situation, through something? If you outsource your thinking constantly to generative AI, what kind of leader do you become? What kind of wife, husband, mother, sister, lover do you become when you are constantly outsourcing your thinking to generative AI? It can be quite sad. So think outside the box. Just write badly, write garbage, pour out your heart and write madness. Challenge your brain to think deep and think wide. Don't deny your brain its purpose. Just think. Fikiria. I had a lecturer in Daystar who always told us that fikiria all the time. So just think and read and read and read widely and read hard things and write till your fingers hurt. And then when you're done, find a fellow hardworking, intelligent, skilled human to edit for you. Think outside the box. Because even sometimes when we're done writing, the first thought is, oh, I'm gonna use AI. I'm just gonna use AI and it's gonna do all the working for me. No, just write. And you don't have to be an expert to write. It's the expert who does the editing. It is not the expert who writes. Anybody can write. You can write that strategy. You can write that opinion piece. You can write that speech. You can write that eulogy. You can write that wedding speech. You can trust that your brain is able to do the writing. It doesn't have to do it excellently. It doesn't have to do it professionally, but you can trust that your brain is able to do it, because constant use of generative AI is convincing you that your brain can't function without it, which is absolutely not true. So here's a disclaimer. As Grace said, as she was starting and when she asked the questions, we're not anti-AI. We're not saying that AI or generative AI is completely bad or 100% bad. Well, nothing is. Everything becomes bad when it's used to the very extreme. So there are countless of AI editing tools that can help you edit your work after you have written it. Remember what we said? Write badly. Okay, write the garbage. There's one of my favorite writers who said it's okay to write garbage as long as you edit it well. So write it, just write it. And then after you write it, you can use Quillbot or Grammarly or Wordric to do the basic editing for you. But before you do that, trust your brain to be able to think through your task. Trust your years of human experience that the generative AI will never, ever have. And trust your ability to research and quickly learn new things. Do the writing yourself, then use these AI tools for basic edits and use them mindfully. And I'm saying mindfully because for example, Grammarly, which I think is one of the most common ones, it doesn't have the human touch. It doesn't have the human connection. So you'll notice if you're writing an email and you say, I felt a little too I feel unsure about this. AI's Grammarly is gonna flag feel because it only uses think. And you can go and try that. It flags down almost anything associated with human emotions and human feelings. So you have to edit it mindfully and know who your target audience is. But then the best thing to do when it comes to writing, after you have written it yourself, and it looks like garbage to you, and you're tempted to just generative AI it and just take the shortcut, you can always get an editor. Here are 4 reasons why you should hire a professional editor. Number 1 is a human touch. So my work has really evolved over time, because before I'd get the human written work that's like 200 pages and it has a lot of grammatical errors. It needs a lot of copy editing and developmental editing. But right now, I'm getting a lot of manuscripts that have just been generated by AI, and my work has become now to humanize it, to humanize generative AI work, which is actually really, really difficult, because editing human work is easy. I'm editing a fellow human's mind, but editing generative AI work is like editing perfect work that just doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a human touch. So as editors as well, we do edit generative AI work to make it feel human, because no, When you go to generative AI and you tell it to humanize this text for me, it doesn't know how to humanize because it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have the experience that you have. It can only copy here and there some human languages, but it cannot humanize. So do not be deceived. AI cannot humanize itself. A fresh and objective pair of eyes, using another human being is actually so much better than just using generative AI because it will help you with the experience, with the expertise to see another perspective. And of course, professional expertise, as I said, it's your job to just write your garbage and write it well or write it badly, and then you give it to an expert who will do the editing for you well. And then it also saves you frustration, energy, and time. And I think I'm going to add here, I walked into Textbook Center a few weeks back, and I just took a random memoir, a Kenyan memoir. I just picked one. And the first page, I could tell it was just generative AI. And I saw like how much the book was being sold for. And I was like, I am not going to buy this. I'm not going to buy work that's been written by generative AI because how can I trust that even this is your story? How can I trust that you are being honest with me? How can I trust that you care about me as your reader to be very honest with me and to give me a story that actually connects to my emotions? Because generative AI does not have that. It cannot connect to people's emotions. You can also hire a ghost. And a ghost is what I said we are called ghostwriters. It's people who write on behalf of others, but give you the full credit. They're just called ghostwriters because nobody will ever know. But it's a trend that is actually really coming up in Kenya, and people are actually writing also for international audiences and for international authors. So many of the books you see on your shelves actually were not written by those people themselves, especially the top guys don't have the time for that. So they hire ghostwriters to do the writing for themselves, hire ghostwriters to do your speeches. You can hire ghostwriters to do your blog articles. You can hire ghostwriters to do the thinking and the writing for you because generative AI is not the solution. And with that, I have come to the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, sorry, one more thing. More materials for your review. If you are a writer, you can read The Unintended Consequences of Generative AI by Insed Knowledge. If you are a writer as well, you can read Generative AI is a Devil, Why Generative AI is Bad for Writers by Read, Write, and Create. And then The Dark Side of Generative AI in Higher Education. This is for parents, teachers, anybody involved with young people. It's a very, very good research article by the East African Journal of Arts and Social Sciences.
Thank you very much, Yvonne, for that very energetic presentation that you have reminded us that, yes, we have a vehicle that we need to know how to ride. We don't have to be reckless about driving this car. You are the one holding the steering. Now, there's a question by somebody, Siaya. He has not given, or she has not given the name. They are asking whether you can be able to shed more light on ghost writing.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that question. So basically what ghostwriting is and what the process looks like. Ghostwriting is, for example, you are a leader, you have a story to tell, or whether you're a leader or not, you have a story to tell, and you'd like to put it into a book. So what we do is we sit down with you for a couple of weeks, hear your story, record it, and turn it into a book on your behalf. That is basically what ghostwriting is. It is called ghostwriting because you get the full credit. It's never the ghostwriter's name on your cover. So if your name is, what did you say his name is? Sorry.
He has not given, or she has not given the name. They are only called Siaya Company.
Okay. So for example, if your name is Siaya Company, that is what is going to be on the book. That is, the full credit is going to be yours. The ghostwriter's job is to just write the book on your behalf.
Yvonne, you need to define who a ghostwriter is. They are confusing ghostwriting with AI.
Oh, no, 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 no. So a ghostwriter is a person. It's a human being. It is not AI. So, for example, I am a ghostwriter. So what I do is I meet people who have stories to tell, who want to put them into books, and I sit down with them and we have what we call interviews that are not necessarily interviews, where they get to offload the whole story to us as fellow human beings, and we take notes, yeah, and we record and we turn them into books on their behalf. So it is not a generative AI, it's completely human-based work where we do all the work of an author ourselves, but give you the full credit for your book. Does that make sense? Is that better?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Let me ask you, when you
Mhm.
want to collaborate with AI, what are some of the ground rules that you need to have in place so that the work that you're producing comes out as your original work? It is not so much on AI, but it is a tool that you're using so that you can become more efficient. What are some of the ground rules which you should not forget?
Yes. So number one, the first ground rule, as I said, is to just do the writing yourself. If it's coming up with the ideas, come up with the ideas yourself. Just try not to use AI to generate the ideas and do the writing yourself. Even if it's just mapping out whatever it is that you're going to be writing about, use your thoughts and map that out so that it's not generative AI coming up with all the information, because then you're not activating your brain, you're not using your brain. I think the best way to use AI is in editing only and not in writing, not in generating writing. So you do the writing yourself and then you use AI to just do the editing. Does that make sense?
It does, yes. It does. I cannot see questions. Come- there are occasions where I have seen where AI claims to have written articles, but it is not the one that there are people who write so well until AI claims credit for it. That how do you convince people that I'm the one who has written this and it's not AI? I'm sure you have encountered as a professional person who is deep down into AI, where AI claims to have written a piece, and actually it is not the one that has written.
Yeah, actually, that has become a serious problem even in the publishing world. There are 5 very famous books that have been pulled off the market because of claims of using generative AI. And because, you know, the thing with generative AI is that it's copying our styles of writing. It's been trained by fellow human beings. So that is why it's so easy to get those claims of you use generative AI.
I
You
don't know
lost
if
me?
I'm the only one or it is Yvonne. Grace, you can help. I have lost
Can you hear
what she
me?
has said.
Come again, Yvonne?
Oh,
I
you didn't
think
hear
we've
me?
lost Richard.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying it's easy to get those claims because generative AI has been trained by fellow human beings. So it's become a very huge problem. And that is one of the downsides of using generative AI, is that the losses are more truly than the gains. Because people get flagged for just writing the way they do and using the M dashes and using that pattern that AI likes for not and honestly, it's just the best thing to do. You know, I like saying and honestly, and someone will use and honestly because they talk like that and people will flag it down as AI. So it's quite unfortunate, but I think it's one of the consequences we have to deal with today because it's where the world is. I
Very,
think you
very
are.
interesting. I see some comments on the chat. Rachel says, what is the difference between a ghostwriter and a generative AI? In my view, it is almost the same, just that one is human and the other is not. Please provide more guidance on this.
So, first of all, generative AI cannot do ghostwriting work. It will not tell your story the way And I've seen so much work, actually what you're saying, I've seen so much work that people have just generated their memoir with generative AI, and then we have to go back and add the human touch and the human soul, which is a lot more work than just writing from scratch. So generative AI will not sit down with you, understand your story, hear out your story. And for example, what you do at ECREATE, we don't tell linear stories. We like to start with the most interesting part of your life and then go to another part of your life and make it interesting for the reader to read. Generative AI will not do that because it doesn't have human experience. It doesn't know what it is to be human or to live in the real world. So it might give you a document, yeah, but it will not give you a good memoir. It will not.
Let me ask you, Yvonne, we
Yeah.
have tools these days that we call humanize. They humanize what you're writing. So
Yeah.
people will do a lot to dodge original work.
Yeah.
Comment on that. There is the aspect of using AI to humanize what somebody has written.
Yeah. So AI humanizing is a scam. It doesn't humanize. And I want you to go and do that experiment even for yourself. It's just going to try and copy a kind of more feeling, emotional kind of way of writing, but it's still AI, but it still sounds AI. So AI humanization, it doesn't humanize. So people nowadays just hire us humans to humanize AI work, because AI itself can't humanize itself. It doesn't have human experience. It doesn't have soul. It doesn't have what I would just call the human experience, to be honest. It doesn't have that. So it cannot humanize itself. So every time you write a paragraph and you tell AI humanize this for me, and it gives you something, and then it asks you, would you like a more human version, or it's just it's continuing with the way AI writes, with just copying what it would sound like to be human, which is like adding the emotions, but it doesn't have those.
I was attending a particular talk, and one of the things that came out, yes, as I said from the onset, that AI is a vehicle and you have only to use it well. There are certain principles that you need to have. For example, how do you create proper prompt engineering so that you get the best out of it? Even if you want to create your original work, you must have certain principles in mind. For example, how do you create proper prompt engineering so that you reach your end results?
I don't use AI to create things for me, so I wouldn't be the best person to answer that question. Mine is, I love to create the things myself and just use AI to edit. Because if you go online, actually, you can find 10,000 lists of prompts that you can use to make AI do something for you. And every other time, what you have is gonna always look like someone else's. If you create a proposal and you have the perfect prompt for it, and you didn't use your brain, and you didn't think, and you didn't brainstorm with fellow humans, it's always going to look the same, and it's always going to have a lot of mistakes, especially when it comes to citing, when it comes to its presentation, when it comes to every sentence insisting upon itself. Every sentence wants to be the one, and there's no that nice flow of thought. So that is what generative AI does. That is why I'm insisting on just using AI for editing and not for generating content.
Which one can you recommend? I'm not saying that you market a particular application. Yes. Which one have you found to be more accurate, especially when we're talking about accuracy? When you are editing your work, which one tends to be more accurate?
Yes, that's a very good question. Quillbot tends to be quite good. Quillbot is Quillbot, and I don't think it's not as expensive as Grammarly, and it doesn't flag down a lot of what Grammarly flags down. But I think Quillbot is truly one of the best ones I can use.
But generally, artificial intelligence with good ground rules is the future of work. Grace, do you have a question?
No, Richard, not really a question, just that this is very, very interesting. And I see Siaya saying, how do you verify this is human and AI reports from an employee? you don't have plagiarism tool to very accuracy.
Hmm.
I was about to answer, but I realized we have Yvonne. Yvonne, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead and answer, and then I will add to what you say.
No, I think for me, it's not the lack, or rather the not using the AI. It is also not using your brain with the AI that I
Yes.
have a problem with. So it's not about people not using AI entirely, because this one is totally with us. And to be honest, it helps. But again, it also requires that you put in your brain at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. So actually an easier way to
yeah.
find out whatever task it is, sorry, that you've given your employee to do, and you have a feeling it might have been completely generated by AI and no thought put into it, put the same task into your generative AI and see the results it gives you. And try that like twice or thrice. And if you see similarities, like I said, it doesn't have any new information. It just doesn't. So if you see, oh, this looks pretty much the same as this, then you know your employee completely just used generative AI without using their brain.
Yes. Richard, I think that would be all from me.
All right. Let me see if there's a question that we haven't tackled. That was Liz. What can you advise? There's a question I saw. I don't know where it has gone. What can you advise the Gen Z who tend to rely more on Gen Z? I mean, not Gen Z, who tends to rely more on artificial intelligence just as much they do rely on Crocs as shoes.
Yeah, that's funny. I think it starts with us, to be honest. It starts with the adults, it starts with the older people, because the Gen Z are going to embrace whatever it is that we have embraced ourselves. So if we show them that it is completely okay to just go to generative AI and not think and just generate content and just generate designs and all that and not think for themselves, then they're gonna take that as their own, as their way of living. But if we show them how to be intentional with critical thinking, how to be intentional with doing the work ourselves, with doing the writing ourselves, then they're just gonna copy what we do. So I think it is up to us to set that pace for them.
Very good. Yvonne, you've mentioned critical thinking as one of the skills you need to be a good writer. What other skill do you need to be a good writer?
You need a lot of attention to detail. You need to be an avid reader. You cannot write if you cannot read. So I think critical thinking, attention to detail, and avid reading, those are the three most important things when it comes to writing and editing. And when it comes to ghostwriting, a very keen ear to listen. Yeah.
How should we love books? I'm sure you've had a joke that if you want your things to be safe, especially money, you need to hide it in a book.
Yeah.
What can we do so that we are able to love books and finish? You know, there is the question that you love books, but some people don't finish books. I'm sure you have encountered this.
Yeah, actually, I could recommend very good Kenyan books that you can start with that are small. There's a writer known as Jackson Biko or Biko Zulu. He's one of my favorite writers. He does not use generative AI to write, even in his blog articles. He still uses his own brain and he still does his own writing. He does amazing small books, and his name is Jackson Biko. So he has a book called Drunk, a book called Thursdays. You can try reading those. They are funny, they are very, very well written, and those maybe can help to get you into the reading culture.
Thank you very much. That is the end of my questions. Over to you, Grace. All right. What is your parting shot? What is it that you do not want people to forget?
Generative AI will make you very lazy. It will kill your brain. It will kill your critical thinking. It is not making you a better writer. It is not making you a better leader. It is making you a lazier one. So use your brain, think through whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is your task is, and use as little of generative AI as you possibly can to preserve your brain.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it, that don't let your brain go to that rusting mode because of reliance on outsourcing your thinking capacities to machine. Grace, you have something to say?
No. I was going to say thank you, actually. I was going to, yeah.
Very good.
If you're done, I can.
Over to you. All right.
Thank you very much, Richard. Today, like I said, it's one of those days that we are being more human than AI could handle. Myself and Richard, I think my internet has been quite wanting, and Richard also kept freezing. But this was fun, Yvonne. It was really awesome. And for those of you who want to write a book and you don't know where to begin, please contact Yvonne. She's an amazing person, and I'm sure you'll enjoy working, even if you're anyway, let me not get there. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And Yvonne, I hope you have enjoyed yourself as well. We need to do this more often. And please, for those who are asking for notes, the recording will be shared on our YouTube channel. The link has been put on the chat. You can just go there and you'll find the recording uploaded. And please do join us here every Tuesday from 8 o'clock. We normally have several discussions of different topics that affect both employers and employees, technically issues around the workplace. So we are here every Tuesday, and do please make time to join us next week as well. Please follow us on Instagram at Ara Solutions, like our Facebook page at Ara Solutions, connect with us on LinkedIn at Ara Solutions, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Get It Right with Atara Solutions. And of course, do get in touch with Yvonne. Her details are there. And do get in touch with Richard for your interview preparation and public speaking classes. And of course, from Atara Solutions, we appreciate you. Please join our WhatsApp group. The link has also been shared on the chat to know what we are discussing next. And you guys have a lovely night. See you next Tuesday at the same time. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you as well. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Bye and good night.
Always moving, never feeling anything beneath the surface flow. Then you came without a warning, no need to say a word. And the way you stay so present made me finally feel heard. I didn't know I needed something simple, real and true. But every moment that I'm with you feels like something new. Right here with me, everything's easy, no pressure, no need to pretend. You give me space just to be me, and somehow you still understand. I don't have to hide my feelings, I don't have to play a role, 'cause when I'm right here with you, I feel complete, I feel whole. Every second feels so natural, no expectations in the air. You don't try to change my story, you just show me that you care. And it's something in your energy keeps me grounded in my mind, like a calm inside the chaos that I never thought I'd find. Every step a little closer, but it feels so light. like we're moving through a moment that was always right here with me. Everything's easy, no pressure, no need to pretend. You give me space just to be me, and somehow you still understand. I don't have to hide my feelings, I don't have to play a role, 'cause when I'm right here with you, I feel complete, I feel whole. Maybe love don't need a reason, maybe it just finds a way in the middle